So like always asking people questions, always, lending a helping hand for somebody, all those different things that can help you in the long run. It's also becoming you're a better employee when you do that, right? If you're at the end of the day, you're like, oh, 5 o'clock hits, I'm gonna head out. It's like, oh, 5 o'clock hits, I want to talk to this person, or I'm helping this person with something. It's just going that extra mile to kind of build those relationships, and that'll turn into a job opportunity. Or like, I want to go back up to Pittsburgh eventually in a few years. So it's like my internship that I had in Pittsburgh. I'm constantly communicating with those people. I'm constantly trying to build that bridge of communication so that later on, it's not like I'm hitting them up and just being like, hey, like, got a job? You know what I mean? Like, it's having those conversations throughout, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years that I've been down here. And now when they come down to see the Lightning play, they're hitting me up like, hey, dude, you want to come to a game? Or like, hey, dude, you want to help me out with this? All those different things is just about relationship building, and networking can help you achieve those goals.
Yeah. And I think that, especially in your specific circumstance, having that long-term plan of knowing that you want to go back to Pittsburgh has helped you been like, okay, well, if I want to go back to Pittsburgh, then I need to maintain these relationships.
Yep.
Because that, at the end of the day, is my goal. And like you said too, it's not using people.
Yeah.
I don't think that's using people. It's just like, you're in my network. There's opportunities that you have, and people, I find 9 times out of 10 are really, really happy to help you. Like, they're happy to help you.
Yeah.
So, that specific, I don't think that plays a huge role, because you're happy to help people, right? If people have a relationship with you and they're like, hey, like, can you write me your letter of recommendation? You're immediately like, yeah, I absolutely can.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that it's important to keep those relationships, and it's important to, leverage those things in your, in your favor.
Yeah. And I think like a lot of people are, networking is huge. Networking is huge. Like always network. And I think social media these days is one of those opportunities that you can really connect with people.
Yeah.
Whether it's literally just liking somebody's story, or if it's commenting on somebody's post, DMing somebody, all those different things that I think for a lot of people before, we kind of not necessarily took for granted, but I don't think that a lot of people would use that in that way. I think that it was a lot about connection. It was a lot about, talking to your friends or all those different things. But now I'm seeing social media kind of being turned. So it's you're posting your work, especially in the video world. It's you're
Yeah.
posting your work, you're interacting with other people, you're collaborating with people's posts, you're doing all those things to put yourself out there, and then that's in turn turning around and it's making business for you, or if it's creating opportunities for you because people see your work constantly as consistent as you can. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're seeing it on social media and they're being like, oh, I know what he can do, I know what they can do, like all those different things, and then that turns into an opportunity. So whether it's communicating with somebody or just putting yourself out there, I think networking is a universal language that I think a lot of people can take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also feel like what you said, like the little things on Instagram, like commenting, liking a story, liking a post. I've noticed that when I start doing that more, my networking starts to build.
Yep.
So, I've met a lot of people over LinkedIn, over, Instagram, things like that. Just DMing people like, hey, I got this podcast. Would you like to do it? Now, obviously, I
Yep.
met you through Andrew. He
Right.
recommended you to come on the podcast, but people that I don't even know.
That's still networking though. Exactly
Yeah,
what you're saying. That's still networking.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I would DM like people that, you know, famous people, because
Yep.
Instagram allows that access now. You can do that if you want to, and the
Yep.
worst they can do is say absolutely not. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So, social media is a huge tool in growing your connections and trying to network with people the best way that you can. LinkedIn's huge as well, but I think Instagram is kind of like the new LinkedIn or the new Facebook. It's very versatile when it comes to reels, posts, DMs, everything like that.
No question.
And it's very simple. It's a little more simpler than Facebook is.
Yeah.
So yeah, how
More
has
user
networking
friendly.
helped you, like social media networking
So
specifically?
that's one thing that I think I need to get better with.
Yeah.
I don't do it too much. We have a social media policy at our work that we can't post stuff if
Mm.
the main account doesn't post it, and which is very healthy. I mean, that's one of those things that, you know, if we're only looking out for ourselves. But
Yeah.
anyways, so I haven't been able to really put together a bunch of different things on social media. But what I do is I'll just communicate, or I will interact with a lot of people's posts that I use as inspiration, or that I have a relationship with. I have those kind of friendly bonds with, whether it was from work or just admiring them from afar on social media. Um, I don't think it has really. I don't have any opportunities that have came out of social media networking,
Yeah.
in terms of like friendships and, you know, different work relationships, all those different things. Probably, I probably built my base a little bit, but I haven't had any opportunities come out of social media specifically. Which,
Yeah.
I don't know, good or bad thing. It is what it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
I see people on social media that they're posting 3 times a day, and they have a job, right?
Yeah.
And they're posting 3 times a day of just their work. And I love that. Like, that's so cool. But like,
Yeah.
you have to basically be, that's like 2 jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're posting your own work, you're cutting your own work for your benefit. And I don't know. I think I could be a little bit better in that regard, in terms of not only interacting with other people, trying to seek out opportunities, but also just putting myself out there. I know I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my mouth and saying like, you need to do it, and then I'm not doing it. But like, it's I see that it's beneficial, and I see that that's an opportunity. That's just something that I've kind of saw as an opportunity, and I need to kind of leverage that for myself.